That's what I like to hear. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Patrick Curley here with the renowned, legendary Gary Shevitz, deal architect, part-time comedian. I don't know if you guys have seen his stand-up. The guy's it's a dry delivery, but it leaves you with laughter in the belly.
It's definitely dry. Definitely.
I
Like a
think that's
really like a really fine Bordeaux.
I I love it. I think that's part of why it's so funny. You don't expect it coming, and then you just throw a joke in there, and it makes the knees kind of weak.
All right. Well, we tried. This is edutainment. This is not
Entertaining.
this is not college. It's not boring lecture stuff. We're supposed to be entertaining.
So in the chat, guys, I just want to see if you guys are paying attention. In the chat, guys, I want to know if this is your first time here or if you are new. In the chat, it's funny. I posted this on YouTube and somebody commented new on my my YouTube. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh,
First time.
the letter A is back.
The letter A is
The
back.
letter A is back. I feel like we got a little bit of Sesame Street going on. This 10-minute period is brought to you by the letter A, small letter A. We have no big A here.
Awesome. Okay, so if you are new,
Was that dry enough for you, Patrick?
it was perfect delivery. What I'm gonna do for you guys, I'm gonna put a a couple links in the chat because for those of you who are just jumping in, what today I want to do is I want to actually take some action, guys. So I'm gonna put this in the chat. These are three videos that I think were pretty good. Wholesale secrets to wholesaling, getting started with creative finance, and then how to build a real estate business. So if you've already watched those, great. I think they're going to be good resources for you. If you have not watched them yet, watch them later. Copy and paste this, guys. This is going to help you get up to speed. Okay. Now, there's one thing that I wasn't even planning on talking about this, Gary.
Before you
Um,
get going on this, I just want to make a comment here. For anybody who is actually here who uses one of these, do you notice the Grady's autopilot? Um,
do we have one of
yeah.
those?
These are not allowed in these meetings.
Yeah, guys, do not send your chat GPTs to our meetings. We want to hang out with human beings.
Well, not only that, we consider this copyrighted material. If you want to watch the replay, all of these are recorded and posted in YouTube, either in the Wednesdays or in my channel. The Mondays are posted in Patrick's YouTube channel, and the links to them are either for Patrick's, well, both of them. If you go to the past events inside a circle, the links are there. Patrick also posts the links for the Monday replays in the chat stream, but I make sure that they're properly added to the past events. So go to the past events and you can click and visit them anytime you want. You can cuddle up with a warm hot cocoa and listen to us have fun with real estate. So just don't send these chat bots in here. I think that in order to do that, you really need permission. That we got two of them in here, and I'm kicking them both out.
Yeah. Okay. Let me make a point real fast. So, guys, that actually segues into what I'm going to talk about. And again, I did not plan to talk about this. I literally decided that I wanted to talk about this 5 minutes before joining this meeting, and it's so common, and I always think about it, but I don't ever talk about it. And it's how to be more successful inside of this group, inside of the challenge, and with each other. And so one of the things that we're talking about here is why don't we want these little bots in our meeting? Well, because it's not what we're here for, guys. We're here to network, we're here to learn, we're here to grow and connect. Okay, so let me show you something. I'm going to pull up my cell phone and I'm going to show you. Oops, that's my library. Let me pull up my contacts for you guys. I want to show you something. Okay, I'm in this Sub 2 mentorship. Can you guys see this? Say yes in the chat if you can see this. Okay, look, These are all students that I've connected with. Look at all those people. That's in the mentorship. Okay. I have over 50 contacts. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm showing you that because that's what you need to do. You need to squad up. I'm going to share my screen real fast.
There are 11,000 members of Subtude. 1,300 of them, I don't know, are my Facebook friends. I've got at least 700 Subtude students in my phone. At least.
Squad up. Okay. Battle buddy, right? So, and if you're choosing a battle buddy, they should be on your level, right? Gary and I are both doing multiple transactions every month. We're motivated, we're organized, we're on the same level. That's why we are hanging out together. Okay. So squad up with somebody who's on your level and help that person, and that other person should help you pull yourself up, guys. Okay. The second one, detailed posting. Oops, here, let me. Detailed posting. Okay, what does that mean? So this is the one thing that really had me thinking about this today, guys. And I'll see somebody in the circle group and they'll be like, "Hey, I need help. I have this property and I'm pretty close to the finish line. Can anybody help me?" And it's like, what are you talking about right now? Okay, like where are you in the transaction? Number one, and this comes from Gary, state your state. Where the hell are you working? Because if it's in California, I'm all over it. If it's in New York, it doesn't really, I might be able to help you, but I'm probably not the best person to help you. If it's in California, I'm going to reach out immediately and be like, that I got California locked down. All the other elephant leaders will tell you that. Go to Patrick, go to Gary.
Yeah, we all have to get Patrick's permission to do deals here. Oh.
I'll take you out in the back alley. Right? So where is it located? Number one, what is it? Like, what is it?
And
what's your exit?
Before you go too far here, Patrick, we're not supposed to be posting deals in Elephant Challenge in Circle. We're supposed to be posting them in the Creative Financing with Pace Morby Facebook group. That's the rule. So the truth is, every week I'm deleting deal posts from Circle and sending people private messages to remind them about that rule.
But even then, right?
And even then, this applies. If you're going to, when you make your post.
Yeah. Be specific. What state, what exit is it? Where? And then the last one is, what do you need help with?
What exit? Yeah, well, that's really important in New Jersey. Everything is, what exit do you live at? And they're referring to the Garden State Parkway.
What is your exit strategy? What do you need? Like, how can we help you? Like, I saw this one post. I pretty much got it buttoned up. What does that even mean? Right? Like, so guys, if I see something like that, for me as somebody who's experienced, somebody who's closing multiple deals, and for Gary, who's on the same level, we don't take action on that because it's not actionable. We do not.
Well, you know what? When you encounter a post like that, I'm sure Patrick will agree. You're like, oh, do I really want to pull this information out of them or just
right
on? Right?
I'm not even going to waste my time, because if you give me all the details, then I can tell you right away if it's a deal or not. Number one. Number two, I can tell you if I can help you. And number three, I'll tell you what's the next steps.
So but who wants to have to interrogate them, right?
Nobody does.
Nobody. Yeah.
Number three, guys, show up. Some of you guys, I see you in here. Jermaine, Chris is in here. I think he changed his name to something crazy. Big Cass. What's up, Big Cass? But show up, guys. You guys that are showing up, I appreciate you, but keep showing up. How you show up is how you do everything. Like, how you do anything is how you do everything. So show up big, show up ready. Sometimes I'll see people on their cell phones. Like, I'm not here to lecture you guys, but like, seriously, like, if you're here, be here. Okay. Watch the replays, guys. If you didn't make it, I know you all have lives, but watch the replays, watch the YouTube videos. And then 5, this is the biggest one. Oops. I've had too much Red Bull. Take action, guys. I want you to fail. Failure equals learning. Okay. This is so huge. Okay. I see so many new people coming in and they don't do these 5 things. I'm actually not good at networking. Gary's fantastic at it, in my opinion. Um, and he always reminds me, like he just linked me up with a student just the other day. We have a similar background. And I'm always reminded, okay, I gotta get out there. I gotta, go to REI meetups and be more active in here and help more people and link up with more people because you never know where a conversation is going to take you. Okay. So I just wanted to do this quick little blurb about this because I see it often, guys. And it's like, this should be the framework in which you operate. And then you should be taking all the other technical stuff and all the skills that we're teaching you and start applying them and taking action. Okay. All right. So,
Is
uh,
everybody here familiar with Pace's Avatar series? People, if you're familiar with it, give me a yes. All right. So, in those of you who aren't, you can go to his YouTube channel and just search on Avatar. I think this is really worthwhile. I think most people cover more than one avatar. They may have one they cherish the most. But what Patrick just told you about, I hooked him up with somebody. Patrick mentioned to me, hey, I'm thinking of maybe adding acquisition people. And I remember him telling me he's a little frustrated that most of the people he has can't devote full time to it. And here I met somebody who was young, bright, had a similar background with Patrick, and he was like, I'm ready to work full time on this. Said, hook him up with Patrick. That's called being a connector.
right.
Anybody can be a connector. Anybody can step into that role at any given moment. When you start doing that, people will appreciate you. It also, you make two friendships stronger when you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to roll all over you there, Patrick.
No, you're fine. I don't care.
I
I
just
grew up in an
wanted
Irish.
to, eh, eh, you know, kind of add that little embellishment in
Yeah,
there.
no, I love it. I
That's
love
all.
being interrupted. I grew up in an Irish family. I'm used to it. Jermaine says, Patrick, I contacted 4 foreclosures today, got threatened by one, and another one didn't even know they were in foreclosure. That's great, Jermaine. Good for you, bro. If you're going direct to seller, get used to it. They're gonna try to chew you up. You just gotta be, stale gum. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we do have a couple hands up. Let's get to these questions. Oh, Tutupu's here. I remember her. Shant or Shant? How am I saying that?
Yeah, it's Shant.
Shant, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I messaged you earlier today about a potential deal, and we said that we could possibly talk about it. I don't know if now's the time.
Yeah, okay.
Let's call the
So
seller. No, I'm being aggressive.
this is a Riverside deal, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What's your specific question? Because you let me from the account of what you sent me, um there's it's on market. They're listed for 3, they're firm at 300. But you've got a lot of varying ARVs all over the place. Now, what I noticed about the property when I looked at it was it is very close to a major highway junction, freeway highway junction. I don't know which one it is.
Mhm.
And when it comes to that, what you'll find with buyers specifically, they'll some of them won't want to take it. Number one, I've experienced that. And also they'll make sure that you are comping specifically with property just like that. So if you have not found one or if you're not using one, then your underwriting is completely off. And by the way, guys, those of you that are new, what we mean by underwriting is there's 2 parts. There's comping, there's figuring out how much the property is worth based off of what has sold in the area, right? Go back and watch our comping video on my YouTube channel. And then the underwriting part is how much is it going to cost to flip it? You take all the costs associated with it and you figure out how much profit there is if you can hit your profit target and what price you need to offer, which is referred to as a maximal allowable offer. That is underwriting. Okay, so what's your question?
So I shared the deal with the idea that if we share leads, then we can be supported with the process because I've never done deal before. And so this is something that seemed like it could be something. And I
Sure.
knew you were in California. And so I, called the agent, got the 4 pillars,
Cool.
and then, when our back and forth, I comped what I could, and we ended on that highway thing. And there aren't any, like, when I look at sold houses on Zillow around, there's no houses that I could comp that are backed by a highway. So I don't know where we go from there.
Well, we use other comps and then take off for the highway.
Yeah, he's correct. And so what I would do is if you can't find a comp, let me see if I could find this for you. Oops, I went into something else.
What do we think the play is here? Is it a fixer? Or is it a
It's a fixer.
fixer? All right.
For sure. It looks like it's a shit box, to be honest. Which is a good thing, by the way. Here, I'm gonna give you this.
That's our best wholesale target.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the chat, guys, I'm gonna put a link for you. This is Jamil's comping sheet. I think it's the old one, but I'm not giving him my email, so I'm not getting the new one. Anyways, this is a good reference for you to take a look at. So when you can't find an exact comp, or if you do find an exact comp for that matter, you still need to adjust for discrepancies. And so backing side facing or front facing commercial and busy roads is one of those considerations that you want to make. And so if you look at this sheet, what you'll see for the traffic and commercial, because it's under that 350, you can take anywhere from 10K off to 20K off. So I would probably take a 10K drop from what you think is a conservative comp. And then I would run the numbers that I provided to you. So
10K off sorry, 10K
that's
off.
okay. Let me ask you this. What is the price of a conservative comp in that area? Conservative. That you think. Remember what I messaged you, what I told you, put yourself in the shoes of the flipper. If you were going to spend your money on this, you'd want to be very conservative, right? And you'd want to be meticulous about your choice of comp. So choose that one. So what do you think that number is?
So you're asking about the MAO is the comp number, right?
No. I'm asking you what is the closest comp that you think, and what did it sell for?
So it sold for, I mean, I think, let me see. Oh, from the ones that I got, it ranges from 466 to 518.
No. I want one number. Don't overthink this. I need you to just take action. Don't overthink
500, 500.
You think that's a conservative comp?
Okay, then no, 475.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. I don't know.
Go with your gut, be conservative. 475.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. And by the way, dude, you're doing great. Don't worry about this stuff. A lot of this is making mistakes. You just make mistakes. You just keep going. You learn, right? So 475. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is we want to make 10% profit. And we want to have about 7% for like closing, holding, and fees, agent fees, so on and so forth. I'm just going to say fees here, guys. Okay, so we want to come in at about 83%. So I'm going to times this by 0.83. So we're at 475 times 0.83. Oops. 475 times 0.83 is, I'm not a math magician. We're at 394. It's what, 1,100 square feet?
Just about, yeah.
So we're going to take 1,100 square feet and we are going to times that by about $60 a square foot. Do you know anything about the electrical or the plumbing?
It seems to be weak because they said that the lighting was faint when you go in, but I didn't get any more information.
That would be so 66,000, Patrick.
Yeah, I would probably round up to 70K. And this is super conservative, by the way, because looking at what year was it built?
49.
Okay. So whenever you see a build year like that, you want to ask about electrical and plumbing.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is that's going to increase this number here. But for the sake of this question, I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, okay?
Okay.
So we've got 70K in reno. So we're at 394.
324.
So okay, yeah, we're going to take this number and we're going to subtract it from that number. You said 324?
Yes.
So 324, we're going to minus
how much of the fee?
Yeah, minus our assignment fee. And so what I would say, I whenever it's like 500 or below 500K, or actually, sorry, I would say no. Whenever it's like gosh, I'm all over the place today. 800K or below, I typically charge on points 3%. So I would take this, and that's about like $9,000.
9,600, yeah.
So I'm just gonna say 9. So we'll go 324.
So that's 315.
315. Thank God Gary's here. He's my organic.
I'm your calculator hand.
So 315 is my MAO. They're asking 3, and they have offers on the table. So to be honest with you, this I think is probably too. Oops, sorry. I think this is probably too high. I think it probably needs to be under 300, but try to lock it up at 315. See what happens.
Okay, so like what's
the next step? The next step would. Sorry, go ahead.
What so to try to lock it up at 315, you send a LOI? Is that what you do, or?
Here's what I would do. I'd call them, and because I like to call and just soft pitch the number. So whenever it's wholesale deals, I'm always soft pitching over the phone. I don't ever just send an offer without talking to the agent, because here's why. 2 things. Number 1, you're not going to be able to gauge their response, because sometimes they're going to tell you what offers are on the table, which is great.
They're asking 300.
They're asking 300. Their firm. Sometimes, I raised my hand. Sometimes they're going to tell you what's on the table. Gary, stop. And that's great. So you know where you need to be. Sometimes they're going to lie to you, and sometimes they won't tell you anything. They'll tell you they can't tell you anything, right? So that's one reason I like to call. The other reason is that sometimes terms are important too. Is it owner occupied? Do they need more time? Are they looking for you to waive contingency? So on and so forth. So that's why I'll ask them, are there any terms that I need to be abiding by? Or are you good with, a 5-day inspection and a 10-day close? And I'll just ask them, what they think, right? So the call goes like this. Hey, John, I'm just calling about your listing in Riverside. Do you have a minute to chat? Oh, hey, thanks, John. I appreciate you taking my call. Look, so I met with my contractor. We went over the pictures. We've actually closed on a property in the area, so we know this area pretty well. And I'm thinking in order for us to hit our financial targets, we're probably going to be around 315. John, do you think that's a number that might work for your seller? And you let him talk. Right? If he says, well, we got offers over that. Well, John, can you put me in backup? Can you write this up for me? If he says he can't write it up for you, ask him, well, do you have an agent in your brokerage that could? And then if he still says no, it's probably not going to be an easy transaction for you, right? Like, we're starting to walk away from agents that we know aren't going to be easy to work with. In the beginning, we would just get shit on. Gary can attest to that. So basically,
you got enough obstacles in your life,
right?
Just move on to the next deal. If you got people that are ridiculous to work with, who needs it?
Right. So, Sean, did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay, Sean. So basically, that's the call. Hey, look, I just got off the phone with my partner and my contractor. We're thinking we got to come in at 315 to hit our financial target. Do you think that's something that might work for your seller? Mm-hmm. Great. Do you think that you write it up for me? Now, if they have other offers higher, do you think you could put me in backup? Can you write that up for me? Can you have another agent write it up for me?
What do you mean by write it up for me?
Create an offer.
Just create an offer for you. Yeah. So in order for you to submit an offer, well, so legally, an agent has to submit a written offer, and it's got to be, and if it's on a car doc, an actual real estate document, they will submit it for you. They will show it to the seller, right? If you send an LOI, there's no guarantee that they're going to see that. In fact, we send LOIs with the intention of receiving a document to sign. Okay. So let's take it one step at a time, because I don't want to see, I'm seeing smoke come out of your ears, Sean, and I'm concerned.
Okay. I'm just, writing down what I.
Well, he had hair at the beginning of this conversation, Patrick. Look what you did to him.
Right. Gary can make that joke.
Yeah.
So
we have the same haircut.
Yeah, exactly. So Sean, take it one step at a time, dude. Look, even today with me and my business, like I said, I'm doing multiple transactions, but every single transaction, my partner, my dispo manager, he'll be like, well, we got this thing going on and this and this and this. And I'll say, Das, we are going to take it one step at a time.
I think, Sean, you need to make sure that you're pitching this as a cash offer.
Correct.
Cash offer. Patrick didn't mention that, but I know he wouldn't leave that out in an actual conversation.
Yep.
Very good. A cash offer, closing, quick close, 315. Would that work?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Cash. You know why that's important?
Other than the other option is terms. I don't know any. Yeah.
No, cash means that you're going to deposit that bad boy there. It's not contingent on your ability to borrow. Contingent meaning hinging on, right?
Okay.
There's no contingent, a small inspection contingency, and that's it.
Okay.
And Patrick can dispo this for you. I can actually write the offer for you if you want, but that's the approach of direct to agent is that they get to keep the whole commission.
Yep.
Now, can I tell you a little story?
Hold on. Let me just add to that. This is important. What you just said is important. A lot of people might have glossed over that, or get off your phones, guys. Pay attention. I'm just going to start randomly saying that. If you have an agent, like honestly, like 9 times out of 10, we're trying to work with a listing agent because there's more leverage. If they have somebody in their brokerage, that's great too. If they tell you to kick rocks and go find your own agent, use Gary because he's amazing. Okay. But that's kind of like how to break that all down. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
All right. So, we're talking about pain in the ass agents and agents that are self-serving. I have another Sub-2 student. We were working on a deal, a Sub-2 deal, where we were offering the seller $465,000 plus paying all the closing costs, plus paying $8,000 towards the listing agent commission. And I was doing the offer with no commission. Well, the agent felt it was more important for them to get their whole commission than to accept our offer. Instead, they put it up for a short sale at $460,000. No, everybody's gonna have to pay so they're gonna put their customer, they steered their customer into a short sale so they could get their full commission. And so they're putting a short sale on their customer's credit history for the next 7 years. Whereas if the Sub-2 deal went through, they would convert the loan, the arrearages would be paid, the loan would be restored, and it'd be performing in a year or two. It wouldn't affect their FICO score. So they would rather steer their customer into a bad credit score for 7 years than give up a few thousand on the commission. And they could have just as easily said to the seller, we'll do this deal and you can give us the rest of the commission, which is a few $1,000s. But for a few thousand greedy dollars, this is what they're exposing their seller to. Frankly, it makes me want to drop a dime in Sacramento when I run into people like that. Yeah. But so that's what I mean. They're just some people you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point. I know, Sean,
They're
you're new and we're kind
horrible
of just
people.
throwing a bunch of stuff at you right now. Trust me, dude, in a year, if you're consistent, this is going to be second nature to you and you'll get it. So take our advice, take it one step at a time, and be genuine. Look, if here's one thing that I used to tell my team members that were new coming in, define your role in the company, right? So if they have a question that you can't answer, you say this phrase to any question you can't answer. You say, you know what, John, my role in the company is to gather as much information so that I could take this to our underwriters, and then they can make an educated decision. I don't have an answer for you with that question, but next time I do talk to you, I will. And now you are brave enough to have any conversation. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Next time I talk to you, I'll want a contract in your hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the agent later today after this.
Hey, Tutubu, can you put your video on?
Thank you.
You're the man.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm the one who was babysitting. I'm so sorry. Can't have the camera on.
Put those little
Uh,
kids to work. Have them
yeah,
pull lists
right?
for you and start getting on the phone.
Oh, don't worry. We're on it. We do drive for dollars with them, where
Oh, love it.
if their property that they put on their little piece of paper and pencil is the one that we end up scoring a deal with, they get a little percentage for college savings or whatever they want to put it for. Um, my question is, first of all, thank you both again for making time for us today. My question is, I made a few phone calls today to pre-foreclosures, and I came across a lead, maybe a hot lead because he came in hot on the phone. He's an out-of-state owner, and the property is here in Las Vegas. Um, he has an auction date scheduled for that at the end of the month. So I feel as if he's very motivated, but he's afraid right now as to who he's dealing with. So
Is this on or off market?
it's off market.
Okay. And is it low equity or does he have equity?
It has equity.
How much?
Let me go back. Sorry. My bad. I should have had this pulled up before.
That's okay. Off of your memory, can you give me some of the 4 pillars? In the chat, if somebody knows what the 4 pillars are, put it in chat for me. So those who don't know. Tutupu, I'm sure you know what the 4
Speakers
pillars
are not eligible to enter this contest.
Speakers are not, I don't get it. Oh, I can't type it in.
No, you're not allowed to enter.
I won't type it in. Very good. Mike. Oh, look, it's Mike. That was the guy you hooked me up with. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel, by the way, Mike. I saw that come in my inbox.
Nice. Yeah. Great content.
Hey, Tutupu, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Can you give me the 4 pillars?
Sure.
Okay,
I'm
what do you
trying
got?
to get the property here.
No problem. Let's take it one
Should've-
step at a time. We'll start with the 4 pillars if you've got it. Obviously, we got motivation. What's the
Yes.
condition like? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. What's the condition look like?
The condition looks. These are pictures, but he told me the conditions are close to no damages or no
Okay.
rehab. It's an
So
elderly couple that lives in the home, so light to none, no rehab work or whatever.
We'd want to see pictures to verify that.
okay,
True.
so with the
Yeah.
limited information you gave me, I already know the
Mhm.
exit strategy.
Okay.
However, if it's what year was it built?
I should have gotten all this information ready for you too.
Yoo-hoo.
I know.
You want us
I'm
to come
so
back to
sorry.
you? Let's come back to you. I want you to get more
Yeah.
information so we can do this
Okay.
quickly. Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
All right.
I
Come
appreciate
back
you.
to me.
We'll come back to you.
Rez,
Thank
are you
you.
going to put your video on? I'll
What's
spot
up, girl? My
Hey, everybody.
favorite,
Rez has got a multi-unit.
my
and
favorite Tennessee.
Gary,
Yeah.
sorry for
Tennessee.
bugging you. I forgot you were a California guy, so sorry. But
Hey, but I
Patrick, if
love
you agree,
Tennessee.
I'm gonna get all over your stuff.
16 units, Rez?
Excuse me?
There's 16 units?
Well, let me start out. Yes, correct. It's 2 buildings. They're identical. built in 2004, newer roof, lipstick level reno. This is all based on seller's assertions to be validated. Okay, so let's just take that with a grain of salt. In any case, all units identical, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. 2 buildings I mentioned, 8 units per building, a total of 16 units. Direct to seller, off market, willing to entertain creative deal.
Okay.
So
Did
do you
pitch
know
terms?
what the most important information we need for this type of property?
Ooh, a test.
Do you
Rapid fire.
want
I just want
rents
I
so that
just
we
want
can
to
talk
know,
about
yeah,
revenue?
yeah, so we want the rent roll,
Yes, correct,
right?
which I do not have, but
Okay.
from what I understand from rents, current average 725, based on seller's assertion to be validated. Market is 800 to 825. So it looks like there's an opportunity to force a little bump on the NOI. You don't want to go over and lose tenants,
All
but it
right,
looks
so
like
do you
there's some
have the,
room
what
there.
about T12s?
Excuse me?
T12s.
A trailing 12.
T12s, trailing
Oh,
12.
right.
So we're looking for,
that-
so everybody for multifamily, we're looking for revenue and expense. So the rent
Yes, I
rolls,
have
the
not
rent rolls,
requested.
you have
I just-
I don't know how much disclosure he's going to give me in advance, but I will ask for the
well,
trailing 12 months.
if he doesn't want to disclose that, move on, because that's how you evaluate a property like this.
Right, because it's based on NOI. It's a commercial valuation instead of a
Yeah,
residential.
without seeing that, yeah. So so one of the things you need to do, and look, everybody, the Elephant Challenge is about more basic stuff. So this is really off on a tangent. Pace did introduce this at one point last year, multifamily, because it was when he was really excited about getting into multifamily and he wanted to share it. Pace is just so, but it's a few steps up from what we're supposed to be focusing on in the Elephant Challenge, which is to get most of you started. And the best place to start is with wholesale or, different roles. So this is really taking us a little bit beyond. So
I'm sorry, if you would
you want to
prefer-
do
No. Well, hold on. Pause, everybody. Rez, he's not directing that towards you. You got to
Okay.
remember that most of the people in here are new.
most of a lot of the people, and
So am I.
in the next time, well, you're going into more of an advanced, what made you, have you done a deal yet, Rez?
Okay. No, I have not done a deal, but sometimes opportunity comes knocking and you don't say, oh, see you later.
Okay,
I agree with you.
so what I'm telling you is valuable, because this is what you need to do. You need to run rent comps, meaning you got to go and find out what you got to prove what the full performing rents can be. So you need the trailing 12s, which is monthly revenue and expense. So, we need to look at, in order to evaluate a property, we got to see what the vacancy rate is. We need to know what the rent comps are. We need to know
what the leases say in case they
the
have weird
potential, right?
provisions.
So we need,
There's a lot of
here, because
information, Rez,
we
that
do
goes
not
into this.
value a multi-unit 16-unit building the way we value a 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Which
Can
is
I,
still,
I'm
yeah.
going to interrupt you, Gary,
What?
because here's how I'm going to save you a ton of time, Rez. You ready? The underwriting a multifamily and single family are completely different things, right? And we all know that. However, you can kind of assert the same relative terms to the property and still pitch them to see where the seller's mind is at, and have them show you their hand to let you know if it's not ever going to be a deal or not. Because if they want, what's the value of the property? Just throw something out. I don't care if it's accurate.
They're asking, I sort of vetted this with a trusted person. They're asking $850 per building, and that is in the range and workable for possible.
Great, 1.7. Okay, now if they want 1.7, let's say they want 1.7 and they want 50% down.
I didn't say that. We have
No, I did not say that. I'm giving you a hypothetical. Follow me here. Okay. They want 1.7, 50% down, and they're going to carry the note, and you're going to pay it. Even if you were to finance that 50% with a private money lender, right? and they were giving you 1 point a month, 12% a year, you would know if that would even pencil in the first place without having to do any of what you're talking about with Gary. Gary is 100% correct. If you're going to do this the right way, that's how you do it. But if you want to be successful in this business, you have to know how to vet deals, number one. That means, is this a deal, yes or no, quickly? And then you move on if it's not. Number two, you got to know how to underwrite it. Number three, negotiate it. 4, close. There's other steps in there too, source and marketing and whatnot, but
Yeah.
I'm making it simple. Does that make sense? And that's going to save you a ton of time, because if you talk to real multifamily investors, they'll tell you a fraction of the ones they underwrite actually go to the negotiating table. So you need to save a lot of time, because Gary's right. Like, what you're doing is advanced. And hey, look, I appreciate it. You're swinging for the fence, but what if your goal is to make cash? I would focus on things that have a quicker turnaround cycle. Okay.
Well, if I can wholesale this to somebody who's more pro, yay for everybody.
For sure.
Is
But
there-
look, you're going to make more money if you're focusing on a larger market, single family home, stuff like that.
I hear
Your
you.
chances, even wholesale assumes you're going to be able to get it under contract.
Pardon
And
me, Gary?
wholesaling means selling a contract, meaning you're going to get this under contract. You're going to
Yeah.
need help getting this under contract.
Yep.
Just to do so, what are we talking about? We're talking about a gross income at 800 per 16 units, 800 per of 153,600.
Can we not go into this?
153, let's say 154,000.
Let's just not go into this.
What?
It's just, I just don't think it's a very, like, we're going into a multifamily thing right now, and I just don't think it's going to serve this group.
Yeah.
I think to go back to what I said, hold on, I'm going to jump in on this, because normally I wouldn't do that, but I think you need to vet this first, and you have not vetted it. You want to tell them, look, typically on these deals, we do about 10% down. I don't know what the monthly payment is going to be, because I want to cash flow it. And also I want to balloon you out in 20 years. Is that something that you're open to? Yes or no? No. Okay. Well, what terms were you thinking? Then you take those terms and you go back and you see that if you can get 12% annual on the down payment plus what they're asking, is that going to cash flow? Yes or no? And if it doesn't, then it's not worth your time. Then you don't need to get the T12 and blah, 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 because it's just not going to be a deal.
Well, the bottom line is that this property would have to be profiting at they're asking 1.5 million, a 10% cap rate. We're looking at 150,000 a year. So
I get it. This is not the right place then to kind of digest this one. And thank you for the guidance.
No, Rez,
that you
look,
shared.
I want to help you make money, and you're smart. I can tell. Focus on wholesale deals that turn over quick. Look,
Where should I send this?
Look, read this. I just got this text. My dispo manager, hey, we just assigned another one. $30,000 going to us. Okay. And we did that in a week. But if I spent all my time, you know how long it would take me to underwrite and negotiate a multifamily? A month at least. At least. Or I could turn over 4 deals in a month and make $100K. What would you rather do?
So you're talking about fast nickels, immediate nickels.
No, I'm talking about 6 figures a month consistently. Rez, do this. Rez, do me a favor. Reach out and find somebody who's closing on multifamily deals every month or every quarter. Ask them, how many deals do you underwrite comparatively to how many you close, and see what they say. They're going to say they close a fraction of what they spend time on. So I'm not saying that this isn't an opportunity. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go after it. But what I am saying is, in my opinion, you're going to get more experience and you're going to make more money if you go after deals that have a quicker conversion cycle.
I hear you that it's lucrative more quickly.
Yeah.
And simpler and more numerous.
Well, not only that, but you're going to get better. You're going to get better at what we're talking about now if you can master the simple stuff.
Please, I'm not ignoring any of your messages. I mean, I've got a crazy.
You muted yourself.
I think you just muted yourself, Rez.
My question then is to close off, because I get it, it doesn't belong in this call, and that's cool. Is there somebody in sub 2 who is interested in your peer group on the inside in
Yeah.
in the handoff from
Paste this in, put this in the creative financing with Pace Morby, and you're going to have 50 people jumping all over
It's
you.
not ready yet though, Rez. You haven't vetted it.
But
You
they'll
haven't
help
vetted
her.
it.
They'll help her vet it.
Okay.
I'm
She
sorry,
clearly
Gary,
needs
you
help.
No,
said
no, no. This
creative
I
financing.
could help you. Gary could help you. We could all help you, but you got to vet it first. And that's what I'm saying, because if they come back with some, you know what?
I'm trying to. I'm really working.
Okay, that's fine. Just call them and say, look, this is generally what we do with our terms. Is this something that you're open to? And then we can start the process of underwriting this. But I need to know where you're at with what you would like. And if they say, well, make me an offer, then I say, I can't go to underwriting unless I have something. I can't talk to my underwriters unless I have an offer from you. So I would really appreciate it if you can give me some type of idea as to what you're looking for. Then you can vet it. Okay? Rez, I appreciate you. I know you're out there doing the work. Keep showing up, girl.
Rez,
Thank you for
yeah,
coming, okay?
absolutely. Thank you. But anyway, Patrick won't let me say anymore.
Message received,
No,
dude.
I don't
Message
want to
received. Thank you.
Patrick put his foot down. He rarely puts his foot
gotta
down.
make decisions. You gotta make decisions.
Shakima,
Emo, what's up?
can you turn on your video?
I have a feeling I'm not gonna do anything that I planned today, by the way. What's up?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you're in where are you at now? You were in San Francisco last time we talked.
Yeah, no, this is a I actually drew that in the back.
Oh, you're an
Yeah.
artist. I love it.
That's your artwork? Seriously?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, seriously.
You're very talented.
Thank you.
I love it.
So I kind of have like two questions, and then I have a lead that I actually put a LOI on today. But my
good
first
for you.
question, because this is in
It's a great way to
Shreveport.
take action.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's been on the market for a while, but I just blew right past it, but I was curious as to why. But um based on what the agent notes was, I was just like, okay, let me bring this type of question to the Zoom. So basically it's a property that's fix and flip, but it has an ADU, and the ADU needs work as well. So I guess my question was like, what's your opinion on properties that need to be fixed up but also have an ADU? And like, is there more potential there, or would that be more for like a specific buyer?
Yeah, the answer is it depends. And that's the answer to a lot of questions in real estate. ADUs are really interesting. It's funny, my partner just went to like this huge get together, and the topic was ADUs. That's all they were talking about. And it was like this big get together and several hours long, went on through the night. And at the end of it, basically their conclusion was, we don't really know how much ADUs actually add to a property, right? There's no formula for it. So it goes back to simple comping. You have to see if there's something in the market that's sold that's similar, and then you have to kind of adjust your numbers based off of that comp. So
However, they do produce more cash flow.
Correct.
And if you're buying based on a buy and hold for cash flow, they can really make the property a lot more valuable to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So simply put, and this is my simple filter with everything, is the first thing I think of and I look at is it a fixer, yes or no? Because if it needs a lot of work, then I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably gonna have to put some cash into it and then probably gonna flip it. There are buyers, buy and hold buyers, that will purchase something and they'll fix it up and hold it. But there's a small pool of people. Okay. And unless you know somebody like that, I wouldn't recommend you underwrite a deal like that. So for me, my filter is it fixer, yes or no? If it is, then it's a cash deal immediately. I'm thinking cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I got to go through the same process that we went through. We comp it, for me in my state, it's like for cash buyers, it's 0.83%. I'm subtracting reno and my fee. Very simple, right? So now, is it a fixer?
Oh, yes. They're
Okay,
both a
then it's a
fixer,
cash.
the ADU and the home itself.
Cool. It's a cash deal then. And so what specifically can we help you with, and what's the question?
Oh, okay. No. So my other question is I sent out an LOI today
Okay.
and I haven't heard back yet from the agent.
Oh,
So
get
I'm
used to
not
that.
sure. I'm not sure if I should reach back out. I sent it today, but I'm not sure like if I should reach back out and be
Is this
like,
the
hey,
listing agent?
yes.
You want to reach out and say, hey, John, I'm just following up. When can I expect an RPA in my inbox?
Okay.
And that's it. And then
Okay.
if they're not going to write it up for you, then they're probably not interested in your offer, or they don't
Mhm.
want to write it up because of their brokerage, so on and so forth.
You know what, Patrick? Given what's going on in the chat, we have to remember between us to speak out the whole instead of using these acronyms. Or if we're going to use the acronyms, remembering to tell people what does RPA mean?
An agreement, guys.
Residential purchase agreement, right?
Yeah.
But they're asking about ADU, LOI, RPA. It's soup here. You know, we're in, you know, we roll these terms off like
ADU is an
everybody
additional
knows.
dwelling unit, guys. It's like
Yeah,
a little
we
in-law
put
in the
that.
back.
It's already been covered. And
Okay, it is. All right.
I'm sitting here
LOI is a letter of
typing.
intent, which applies for residential and commercial.
No, but what I'm just saying is when you and I need to be better at not using acronyms or teaching the acronym as we go.
Yeah. You're welcome, Marquise. Okay, so that's what I would do, Jakima. I would just act like you do this every day, and you're waiting for your residential purchase agreement. How's that, Gary?
Okay.
Well, you follow up tomorrow. Give
Okay.
Yeah, follow up tomorrow.
the agent, you know, say, hi, have you presented my offer to your seller yet? And I'm just curious where we stand. And then you'll get, no, I'm not going to because I don't consider it an LOI. I need a real, or I'm going to be gathering them and we'll be going over them on Wednesday. Or these are the kind of answers you'll get.
But just
Now-
remember,
Mhm.
what I would say is, because sometimes you'll have an agent say, yeah, I told my seller about the offer, right? What I always say is, okay, great. I appreciate you presenting that to them. I would love to actually present a written offer. Can you write it up for me? Because it's not official until you do that.
Right.
If there's an agent involved, even
So
if it's
is there, because for this particular property, it's not technically the seller, it's his attorney that has power of authority over him.
next.
Because I guess with the seller, there's some type
Well,
of
he's still
litigation.
so that's called an attorney in fact. But and anyone who's a power of attorney holder, but that's fine. They're still the seller, right? So you can still say the seller. It doesn't matter
Is he
who
an
that
actual attorney?
I'm sorry?
Is he an actual attorney?
That I don't know. She just
Okay,
said
so
that
just power of
he's the
attorney.
power of attorney.
Got it.
is a
Yeah.
POA. So that could be a family member in a conservatorship. It could be a lot of different things. So it just refer to them as the seller. That's meaningless to you. That means
Okay.
nothing, especially at this point in the transaction. It means something to the escrow company, but for you, it really doesn't matter as long as they're agreeing and they have the power to sign, right, Patrick?
That's correct.
Hey.
Okay.
And I don't do business with attorneys unless they're representing me.
Thank you,
Jakima, I
guys.
love your smile. I love your
They're
art.
way more expensive when they're representing you.
I know. They know how to spend money, I'll tell you what. Boleyn, am I saying that right? Thanks, Jakima. Thanks for hanging out with us. Boleyn, what's up? I think you're on mute, sweetie. I can't hear you. You're on mute. She does have her hand raised though.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, your audio is not working. She's not muted, but
not muted. It's just we're not. So you probably got to go to the left. There's a little microphone on the left. If you click on that up arrow, you'll see your microphone settings, and you can. I may have taken 1 or 2 Zooms in my life. What do you think, Gary?
1 or 2 a day, you mean? I feel like if I'm off of Zoom for more than 3 hours, I start going through withdrawal.
Yeah, right. I wish I would have invested in the stock before COVID. Holy cow. Blaine, are you there?
Not sure.
There
Yeah,
you
I can
go.
Oh,
hear
there you
you.
are. I can hear you now.
Okay,
Hi.
sorry. Yeah, my question is, yeah, I'm in sub 2 and Gator, but I'm on the newish side. I still haven't done my first deal. But my question is more in the role of capacity as a connector, as I'm still going through the courses or the modules. I have a good friend. She's a broker and a lawyer. She's selling a property in
Double
Southern
trouble.
California.
Yeah,
Double
nope.
trouble, right?
Um, but doesn't know creative financing, and so she has a 1030. She plans on you doing a 1031. So, what kind of deal should I be looking for her to help her as a connector?
Well, 1031 is not going to fly with creative financing in general.
Creative financing would be in the place of if they can't find a home to replace their current one with, then that's when seller finance might be great, hybrid, sub 2, so on and so forth. So I will say this though, identifying as a connector is great, but I would say you also do want to supplement that with, or I should say, yeah, that should supplement your action taking. You are a connector that is taking action, making calls, doing text messages, or on somebody's team. Regardless of what you guys identify as, you guys need to take action. You need to be talking to people every day.
Okay, all right, so I want to just pause for a sidebar here so everybody knows what a 1031 is. A 1031 exchange is a tax maneuver where you sell one property, and rather than being assessed capital gains, you purchase another property or properties of similar properties of equal value. And this allows you to avoid capital gains. But there's a whole process behind it. Patrick's doing the 1031 dance. So there's a whole dance step behind it. And we don't want to deep dive into that right now.
I'm just happy because Ramon closed the deal.
That was your happy dance. Okay.
Yeah, that was money is going to be hitting the account, baby. So, Belen, when you say broker and lawyer, I'm going to be honest. But
it's her friend. It's her friend.
But it's a friend, right?
But if your friend is trying to do a 1031, she just needs to find the property that she wants to buy so that she can sell hers. There's a very tight time limit. Once you declare that you're doing a 1031, you have 45 days to identify the replacement property. You have to close within 90. Or within 100 odd days.
Let me ask you this, Belen. Is it low equity, a lot of equity? What's going on here? Is it free and clear?
It would be some equity. And so she just wants to buy an investment property, and preferably out of state.
Okay. Do you know how much money she needs?
That's a great question. I just know that she told me because of the 1031, it's got to be 750K or more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's got a property worth 750K.
Yeah, it sounds like she's got a lot of equity actually. Right. So,
okay. I'll ask her.
This probably isn't going to be a fit. Just doesn't sound like one.
Okay.
Well, the amount in an exchange like this, Patrick, the amount of equity really doesn't matter. But
okay.
Yeah, she could sell it, seller financing, and defer the capital gains. That's another strategy. But most people that are slick enough to decide they want to do a 1031 have been advised by a tax professional who, is running their strategy. So,
you know how much she owes and what she's asking?
The property is 750. That's how much it's being sold or it's on market for. But I will ask her those questions. She does want a cash flowing property, and she's open to anywhere but California. And so I just don't really know how I can be of help to her, even though I'm in this space. So I guess that was my question.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like the goals line up because she's specifically saying that she wants a cash flowing property. So I just don't think that it lines up.
Okay.
And that's the way I present it to people too. When they say what they want, like what's next, and they say, "Well, I want a cash flowing property," and I just tell them, "I don't think this is a fit. But if you don't find one, this is what I can offer you. Let me know if anything changes," and then I move on.
The role of a connector too is about putting people together and introducing people that potentially could add value to each other. There might be a partnership, even hooking someone up with a date. You're being a connector. That's what a connector's role is.
You know anybody for Gary?
Oh, please.
But you got to make money, okay, connector? Make sure you're
everything
taking care
about
of yourself.
me is off market, Patrick. So
take care of yourself before you take care of other people. I know how connectors operate, Belen.
But Kevin Cho, he's still looking. The famous Kevin Cho.
All right, did we answer your question, or are we just entertaining you at this point?
No, that's helpful.
All right.
I think, yeah, it's a couple of follow-up questions, and then also something I can,
Jermaine,
if it doesn't work out.
I don't think you make money as a connector. You make connections. You make people happy, and eventually that will bring opportunity back to you.
You make money later as a connector.
Right. Yeah. Eventually the opportunity comes rolling back to you. Or, if it increases the value of a relationship or relationships, that's worth it. I'm always looking to connect people that I think can help each other.
Your audio and video are lagging, my friend.
Me? Oh, my internet.
Nope, you're back now. Yeah.
Yeah, it just said my internet was.
We heard what you said, but you were paused like this. You were like looking all crazy.
Yeah, I look all crazy anyway.
All right. Thank you, Belen. Oh, Belen, connect me with some creative finance deals soon, okay?
So I remember talking about maybe doing some live calls or role play today. Didn't we originally set out to do that?
Completely went off on a tangent.
Isn't that what you promoted?
I was super excited about it. And then we just started answering questions.
All right. Did we still want to try to squeeze some of that in, or are we adding enough value with all these questions? I don't see, nobody else has their hand raised at this point. So we must have fulfilled most of the burning questions.
All right.
Did you have Tutupu's back?
All Sorry, right. Guys.
No, that's all right. What's up?
We got recycled here.
Okay, just really quick. It has 77% equity. ARV is looking at 352K. What was the other question?
What do they owe on it?
What do they owe on it? Yep, that's the other question.
Go back. And this is an elderly demographic, so
I feel like, yeah, when you said that, I feel like it
you got to get
55 and up.
You got to give them some cash. That's
okay.
They need the cash to get into another house or another secure situation. So I don't know how this is going to shake out, but let's do the numbers real quick.
Sure. Let's see here. 77% equity. They still owe $75,000 for the first mortgage. The second mortgage, this is kind of weird, another 75. And there's a third one, which is 75 as well.
What kind of loans are these? Are these lines of credit or what?
So the first one is a conventional grant deed. The second one is a deed of trust. And the other one is a deed of trust.
They're all deeds of trust. That's just the security instrument.
Do you think this is the same loan, Gary?
What there's probably two different loans, or you want to get the?
I feel like it's the same one.
It sounds like the same loan.
Yeah, 75, 565. I think it's the same one. The way it's recorded, it's.
What are they going to do when they sell?
Okay, so the owner is actually out of state, but there is an elderly couple in there. I didn't know, like, it's good to have a few exit strategies about this, but I feel like he's going to call me back because the auction date is getting closer.
Oh,
What
I
are
see.
the options does he have if we were to step in and provide a creative solution
I don't think
on
a creative
that?
solution is the solution. I think this is a cash deal just because
Okay.
there's a lot of equity here.
Okay.
But well, actually,
or
no,
better put
that's
it
not
on. This should go on market. That's what it sounds like to me. This should go on market.
maybe, but if you could
Get
also
the
do
best
seller,
outcome for the seller.
Right.
Go on market.
you could what's the interest rate on the loan?
So this one is 6%
Yikes. But
On
it's only
market.
for 75K?
for 75, yes.
Yeah. That's a really high percentage, so
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the best outcome is for someone to put it on market. Sell
unless
it
they want a cash offer. Do they want a cash offer?
So I haven't explained, we haven't gotten that far yet, but I was able to squeeze in some probing questions for him to get some answers from. But with the 29th of this month being the auction date, I have a feeling he's really going to call back soon, if not tomorrow.
No, he's not going to call back. You need to call him.
Look,
They never call.
if they've let it go to this point,
Uh-huh.
some of these people, like we offer recently, I had a client offer to take on a property with this guy. He
Mhm.
almost signed it and then didn't. You know, some of them just go over the cliff.
Yeah, I know.
They,
But you know what? I found more motivation calling people who already have dates set for auction.
hell yes.
Yeah, and I talked to a guy this morning, which I feel like even as a beginner, even I would know the exit strategy for him. But he's like, don't call this phone again. Just don't. I said, okay, buddy. I was just trying to help. So
Some of these people may be in having a divorce, and
yeah,
I've seen divorce couples where they hate each other so much they
right.
both lose money between what they're spending with the lawyers and the court fees, and then they're so vicious with each other that they
Just
both
let it
give
go.
up. Yeah, they'll give up equity.
Yeah.
So people get sued when you see someone going right up to a auction date,
Mm-hmm.
50-50 or better chance.
Right.
Their head is in the sand. We call it ostrich mode.
Okay.
And they're just going to go over that cliff. They're not going to face reality. That their denial is so strong. You can think of it like the stages of grief,
Mm-hmm.
and they just get stuck in that stage of denial.
Yeah, but call him and
Yeah.
tell him that I'll pay 230 cash for it this week.
230 this week. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Sweet.
But what's up with the tenants? Are they going to be able to find a new place? I don't know the laws in Vegas, but they're elderly, they're a protected class, so
Right. That was one of his concern was he really wanted to keep the tenants in the property.
nope,
Yeah.
not going to happen. Not unless he's open to creative terms, and
Okay.
somebody's got to pay that loan off.
Where is this property?
Here in Las Vegas?
Well, I don't know what the tenant protection laws are in Nevada, but tenant's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell him 230 cash, but we got to take care of the tenant somehow.
Yeah.
Or if you're open to a create, are they performing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then I'll take the tenants on creative terms. I'm actually buying in that area, by the way. I love gambling. I'll tell you what.
Should I add you as a buyer?
Hello.
Potential buyer.
Potential
Did he
buyer.
say that a few times at this point?
Maybe I'm not saying it enough. If I said it as enough as subscribe to my YouTube channel, I probably have more deals.
Yes. Say it. Put it out there.
So yeah, 230 cash with tenants gone or creative. And so if he asks what would you do with creative, tell him we can give him, we want to be in at 10% all in. That means escrow fees, all the transactional fees plus cash to him. That's $35K. Assuming your number is right, you better be right.
Is there a form I can submit to you so you can run it as well?
You better believe there's a form.
Paste that link.
Okay.
All right, guys, if you have deals, fill this form out. And if you don't have all the information, the form will laugh at you digitally. You may not submit.
All right. Might just be another step I gotta master. Okay.
100%.
So
Yeah, you gotta have all the
230K
information.
cash, 10% all in.
On creative.
Leave it on creative.
But that's 230 is cash. The other, I'll give him 90% of retail. Okay. 90% of retail with terms. But I don't know what those terms are. You know, fill out that form, okay? So I can see the address and I can see what's actually going on with the note.
Roger that. All right. Thank you.
Get out there and take some more action, girl. Hey guys, give
Yes,
her
sir.
some love. Say good job in the chat for Tupu. She's out there taking action, guys.
Thank you. All right.
Give her some love, guys. Is Rez back for more? I thought she was. Oh, you're clapping? I didn't know you could do that. I like that.
Yeah,
Rez.
I got an
Second,
open
I'm
mic.
turning on the
Are you going
camera.
to turn your video on there again, Rez?
It's round 2 with Rez.
Round 2. Rez, round 2. Here we go.
I want to make it easy. So where you suggested that I post in a particular location, where did you suggest?
Creative
Don't do that.
financing.
You haven't vetted it yet.
Go ahead.
Vet it.
You can ask for help with creative financing with Pace Morby.
Oh, don't do it. It's just going to waste time.
Well, she needs someone to help her vet it, obviously. She's got to find somebody.
Rez, did you write down the terms that I just said?
I did. You know.
Okay.
I feel as though I'm being asked to use words when I don't understand how to maneuver.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Words. Okay,
I apologize.
So I would appreciate, please, having at least a Sherpa who can assist in translation, right? So you had suggested I post in a particular spot. Okay, where?
Creative financing with Pace Morby in the Facebook group. It's a
Thank
Facebook
you.
group.
I appreciate it.
That's the name of the group, Rez.
Hold on, we're not done with you yet. Get back up here.
Uh-huh.
They want 1.7, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're making me open my notebook at a different spot.
Uh-oh. %10 will be 170K. Monthly payments. You don't know because you want cash flow. So you tell them it would not equal market rents. That's not going to happen. You just tell them, look, the only thing that's important to me is cash flow. All right. That's the primary thing that's important to me. So 10% down, I'll give you $170,000 cash. Monthly.
Repeat, please. Wait. Repeat, please.
Can you see my screen?
10%. Okay? You said 10% down.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, I do. And 10%.
10% down. My handwriting is pretty bad. 10% down is 170 because they're asking 1.7. Monthly payments will depend on market rent, but all you want is some cash flow. It's not going to be equal to market rents because that won't cash flow, obviously, right? And then so you want a balloon, say 20 years. Start off with that. And say, is that something that you're open to? And then if they say yes, great. If they say maybe, great. If they say no, you say, what would make you happy? What are you looking for? So then at least you know that they're not insane. Because sometimes you'll have people who are open to terms and you'll think, amazing, and you'll get really excited. Or they'll advertise that they're open to terms, open to seller finance. And you think, oh, they're open to seller finance. I found one. And you turn out that it turns out they want 75% down and they want a balloon in 3 years, right? So start with this, see if they're open to it. And then you work, because you want to spend time underwriting it, but you want to spend time underwriting it if you think it's a deal. And then Pace Morby's Creative Finance Group is the free group. If you're not already in it, I highly recommend that you join it. You can post it there.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Killer. We appreciate you. All right. She's going to close that deal. Watch.
I hope so.
And I'm going to be like eating my words about multifamily. She's a go-getter, I can tell. All right, guys. We literally spent an hour and 15 minutes answering questions. I'm glad that I pitched this as a
live call day.
Calls. Right? I guess we should just start saying, guys, we're going to be doing live calls to get more people on these calls to answer more questions. I don't know. 49 participants today, which is pretty good. Any other questions?
40? No, we were in the 60s for a while.
Oh, we were?
Yeah.
Nice. I was too
busy.
busy.
People start dropping off on the East Coast. I mean, it's almost 7:30 on the East Coast. So.
Yeah, I was too busy dancing to
That's
realize.
That's right. Happy Dance, 30,000. Was that one a $30,000 assignment fee?
This one was actually 30K. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And you know what's crazy? I didn't think it was a deal. And we literally just got somebody to buy it. Thankfully, DOS is just a freaking animal with Dispo. David, no, the JV link is not just for California. However, if you are in California, you not only get access to me, but you get access to one of my secret weapons, Gary Shevitz, who is an animal. Don't let his soft
roar.
Don't let his soft temperament fool you guys. This guy is a beast. Any questions? We have like 12 minutes left here. I might just pull somebody up on stage like Mike to chat.
Okay, so answer some questions here, Franco. The contract's under resources. The wholesale contract is under resources in Circle. Go look for it. Let me see what else is in here. Like sometimes the chat's a little hard.
Any property in California, Rick, it's got to be a deal, buddy. If you go to that link that I posted, here, I'll do it again. I outlined some criteria for you before you even enter something into the form. There's criteria on this link.
Yeah, you should add it to the page that the form's on.
Our page?
Well, yeah.
Have you given me editing rights?
Oh,
Sean Gates, please don't send direct messages. Nobody send direct messages because sometimes I'll miss them. But no, you don't need my contact information, because once you fill out that form, it's going to notify me immediately with the power of automation. Yes. Okay, guys. Any questions? I can still feel the caffeine from the Red Bull coursing through my veins, so I'm ready to answer anything you've got. Wow.
Well, there's nothing in the rule book that says we have to go to 4:30. We've covered a lot of ground here.
Gary's
You want deals in Kansas City?
Can we do you buy deals in Kansas City? I don't know. I know that I'm interested in Nevada, Arizona, Texas.
You know what's nice about Kansas City?
What is it?
They got Mo money.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay. All right. So I don't know, man. I feel like I don't feel like we don't have enough time for calls. We have 10 minutes.
We're gonna ramp up calls now.
Yeah. Let's do it on Monday. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude, I came in here with like this.
But we have to tell you, are you willing to tell people no Q&A until we make an hour?
Till the end. We should have done that this time around. That was my mistake. We kind of just launched into questions.
Well, you want to help people. People come in with questions. It's hard not to stop and answer the questions.
Yeah. So I'm buying, guys, and so the benefit of working with somebody who's buying in the area is you don't have to dispo. You can just turn around and sell to me, which is awesome. So that's always helpful. But yeah, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, California for sure. Look, go to the link that I sent you guys, and then there's a little bit of criteria there. Do questions last? Yes. Okay. Thank you, A.
That's the letter brought to you by the letter A.
Brought to you by the letter A. Hey, I'd love to connect at some point.
Hey, how are you? Hey.
Yeah, I wonder if he's friends with B and C.
Seriously, people, you should get your names in your Zoom profile, log into Zoom, put your real name. Don't let Apple call you iPhone. You know, is
Sean
that
Gates.
how you see yourself as what's your pronoun? iPhone, iPhone?
The form, if you read it, Sean Gates, it will say your name, your number, your email, and your point of contact. The point of contact is either an agent or a seller.
And we're not accepting A as a JV name. We're not writing a contract to A.
Clifton Ross, raise your hand. I want to talk to you. Clifton, you're brave. You got your number in your name. I love it. Clifton, can you talk to us?
My name.
Yes, I am at work, so somebody come in, I have to jump back into the office.
No problem.
But
specifically, what's your question, dude?
Kind of like not really a play-by-play, but I've never done a deal, and I know I get into my head of what's step 3 and 4 before I take step 1.
Totally.
So my question was really, is it possible, or do we have the time for y'all to kind of play it out? Like starting from a cold call, hey, I got your number from XYZ, blase, blase. And I'm guessing Gary would pretend to be a homeowner. Then, like, from this point, you'll submit an offer, and then something
Now
along those lines.
We're talking about some role play here. We're willing to do that if we can't call people.
Yeah, but Clifton, it depends, right? So like, what?
Okay.
So here's what I would do, and what I often say to like my team members is like, start with the end in mind, right? Stephen Cohen, I didn't come up with that. I'm not that smart, but so like, what's your target, right? Like, who are you targeting? What are you planning on going after? Are you doing creative deals? Are you doing cash deals? What are you doing?
Oh, currently right now, creative, focusing on low equity.
Okay, are you going direct to seller or direct to agent?
Direct to seller is what I'm leaning towards, but if I see something direct to agent, I've also taken a look at it.
Okay, cool.
But I'm focusing more on direct to seller.
We're going to do that next Monday because we're just going to shut you guys down with Q&A right from the beginning and not allow it. But so generally my calls are pretty similar, but I would say it just really depends on you. But generally how those calls go is I say, hey, John, I'm just calling about your property on 123 Main Street. If it's direct to seller, it's probably an expired listing. So I'll say, I noticed that you had a listing. I'm just curious, are you still interested in selling? And then there, yes, no, maybe. And from there I go, okay, great. Because I'm actually, I see your listing, you listed it here for 450 and I'd be willing to give you that 450. And I kind of let that sit in the air, let them respond to that. And then I tell them, well, let me tell you who I am, what I'm looking for. Sorry, before I go into that, I just ask them a little bit about the condition of the property. Like, I just want to confirm, John, are there no major issues with the roof, foundation? How's the house looking these days? Right. And then I go into who I am and what I'm looking for. I own a company that flips properties all over the state. This year, we're aggressively picking up rentals to offset our taxes. And so we're looking for low equity properties. It looks like you've only got X amount of equity in this property at your asking price. I'd be more than happy to pay all expenses, get that money in your pocket and assume the loan. Is that something that you're interested in? And I wait for them to say yes. And then I clarify what sub 2 is. Then I clarify what sub 2 is. Because a lot of people are like, wait, sub 2 is not an assumption, right? Yes, it is. It's assuming a loan, right? So it's subject to an existing loan. So on an RPA, it'll say subject to assumption, right? So I don't try to skirt around the fact that it's going to be remaining in their name. I want to get them open to the idea of a loan still being there. I'm paying that loan, paying them equity, and then I give them the details after that. Okay. I'm going to paste this into the chat. This is a Google Drive that all of you have access to. There are scripts in that Google Drive, there's a sub 2 script, low equity. So here's what I would do, guys. I would take that and practice it. Now, I know that not everybody likes scripts. I don't use scripts, but I wrote those scripts based off of what has worked for me. And they're like, if you listen to me on the phone, I say the same thing every single time. Conversations might go left and right. And they might be a little bit more advanced. They might be simple. We might go on a report tangent, but the structure is what you want to look at. The template for the sequence and what you're talking about should always be the same.
Okay.
Cool.
So, and you're not necessarily going into creative deals on your first call. It's just how warmed up can you get that seller. When you're dealing with an agent, it's different.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. But when you're direct to seller, you want to make sure, sometimes the first phone call is just the whole goal of that is to get to the second phone call.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, that's my only goal. My only goal on every call, I don't want a yes or no. Because if you push for a yes and no, Gary's 100% correct. Right. And remember, he's an agent too. So that perspective is important because like all you're trying to do here is in this phrase, I say this all the time in my calls. John, is that something that you might be open to? Is that something that you and your seller would be open to? Right. And all I'm asking for is to continue that conversation so that if he's interested, if you're interested, my number, you're going to pick up my call and we can continue it.
Understood. So after gauging their openness to either a cash offer or a creative offer, if it seems like they're open to it, that's when we'll like fill out a form to JV with? Or
that's a great question.
Or is that after
that's a great question.
Contract is signed, we bring it to you?
The answer is yes. To both.
Okay.
So if you're badass, Clifton, and you're like just a closer and you get a contract, I'm gonna be like, dang, I might have to get this guy on my team. No joke.
Understood.
I'm gonna be like, wow, that's a big milestone for somebody to do. Creative under contract is a big milestone. What I would expect from most people, however, is to gauge motivation. And so if you can explain to them what you don't need to outline the transaction, but you need to say, we're going to be assuming the loan, we're going to be doing it subject to, it'll remain in your name, and just follow the script. And if they say, I might be open to that, that is a lead. Because then I can close them. If they have any speck of interest, I'll close it.
Okay. Thank you. That's pretty much all I had.
Love it. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay, so we're going to do one more. CJ.
Where's CJ?
We'll close out with CJ. Are you frozen, CJ? Can you hear us?
Good, man. Oh, hey, I remember you.
Yep.
Did you? What happened with that deal that you were working on?
So right when I decided to pass it on to Dylan, I ended up getting in contact with the agent, and some homestead buyers came through, and someone who actually wanted to live in there purchased that property.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Yeah, I told him congrats, though. It was good that it happened.
Yeah, 100%. Remember, I think of creative finance. I don't think of creative finance as like, let's, acquire all these properties on creative finance. I think it's a tool to help somebody with a problem. And that's how I present it, right? Like if it's retail ready and it's 30 days on market and it's in a hot market, that's not a tool, right? So it's good that you realize that, and it happens.
And that's something that I mentioned to agents or sellers when I'm speaking to them a little bit about it as well, how it doesn't work for everyone, but it's just something to consider. And
100%.
So I've raised my hand because something did come to mind. Here and there, I've come across situations where an agent or even the seller, when the seller wants like the contract or an agent doesn't want to accept the LOI, what do I do moving forward from there? Because I don't have any like contract downloads, and I don't think the Elephant website has any. Like, how do we go about sending a contract over?
So let me clarify the question. What do I do if I submit an LOI and they don't want to write it up?
Or no, they don't want an LOI. They want me to write up or send a contract. I've come across a couple weird agents where they're like, just send it. Like just write something up and send it.
Yeah. Weird is a is one way to describe it. So I think that a lot of agents, and this is just my perspective, Gary could probably give you his, but I think a lot of agents do that because number one, they don't understand the transaction. They're number two, they might be lazy. They don't want to do the work.
I think lazy is
yeah. Just put it on paper so that I can put it in front of my sellers and see what they say. That might be it, right? So you got to present it in a way like, so one of the things that I would typically say is like, I'd love to put this on paper, but I'm just wondering if you could present this idea or possibly get on a conference call with your seller so that I could gauge their motivation. So that way I'm not tying up my transaction coordinator, my agent, my team, my underwriters in the process, because we're really busy. Actually, we've got 10 of these in the pipeline right now. Right. So third party, use your experience, use, stories of, that make you seem like you're a big deal and you've got, you don't have a lot of time in your hands. Yeah. The other thing that I will say is like, look, I'll ask them, are you familiar with this type of transaction? 90% of them say no. 95% of them say no. Right. And I say, okay, no, not to worry. We actually have, I've got a transaction coordinator that can handle all the paperwork for you. So what I could do is I could give you some brief terms and send that over to you so that you can relay that to your seller. If they convey some interest, then we can continue the conversation. Is that something that you might be open to, John?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm in one situation right now. And I know you had the conversation with Rez. It's funny because I jumped in when you were speaking to Rez about the multifamily, and I was thinking like, damn, Patrick or Gary will probably chill me out because I've been like talking to so many multifamily deals as of lately. But of course, I'm still calling like a lot of single family for the cash flow sales. I've just kind of transitioned a little bit. A lot of the on market stuff I've been looking at families, and the direct to seller stuff I've been doing, those are like single family opportunities. And I've been gradually doing more of those because I'm ready to just get some quicker turnaround, as you were talking about with Rez.
Right.
But I'm still keeping my eye out for the multifamily opportunities just because I'm just a go-getter in that regard. But the property that I was referring to as far as the situation, the agent, they want me to fill out a financial sheet form before solidifying the terms to negotiate with the seller because the seller wants to make sure like I'm legit. And so that puts me in a position where I have to partner up most likely with someone because I don't have any, assets to show or any.
No, you define your role in the company is what you do.
But they still need me to fill out the form and input. Maybe can I screen share? They want me to show.
You can screen share if you want.
You guys want to just see what it looks like real quick? Let me jump to Gmail.
And Scott, we'll take your question, but you got to turn your video on.
CJ, he's imbuing you with massive amount of power right now. Be careful with the screen share.
No, okay? He's not. Yeah, I don't restrict screen
Only
share.
Use your powers for good, CJ.
Give me 1 second.
You know how to screen share? Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to screen share. I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah.
As we're waiting for this, I promise you guys,
Patrick, I even made it so you can screen share.
I do appreciate that.
Oh, right. And your co-host.
So you know how I like the whiteboard.
You can actually end the meeting as co-host, I believe.
Ooh, that's some evil.
You could hang up on everybody.
Actually, I don't know how to screen share.
You don't have it, CJ?
Not on Zoom. I know how to do it on Discord. That's why I'm thinking like,
well, you just pull your mouse down to the bottom there. Are you on a laptop?
Yep.
You'll see the big green button says share.
Okay, and I click desktop.
Desktop, that'll work.
Share. Open system preferences.
There's nothing incriminating.
Oh, okay, I see. Dang, I gotta put my password in.
Everything. Like close the porno windows. We don't want to see that.
Oh, I didn't want you to go there.
We don't want to see that.
Oh my goodness! No, I just have a bunch of tabs open on properties. That's. I feel like everyone else's computer looks like that too.
So open a new window.
Okay, so
your tab. You have only a few tabs open that the tabs show the addresses.
Pretty much, but none of those are things I have on the deals. Yeah, can you guys see it now? Or
no, you haven't shared it.
What? I just enabled the screen sharing, but
No, you didn't actually get all the way there.
Just tell us what it says, man.
There you
Is
go.
it-
There you go.
Okay, so when you click this, okay, this is what it's looking like.
Scroll up
They
to the title. Scroll up to the title.
financial.
Okay.
You see that? That's once she sent that, I was like, it's
Scroll
already
down. This looks like a loan app.
Yeah.
It's I don't really understand. Yes, I think she mentioned something about wanting to run it through just people, some
All right.
representative.
Well, you need to get somebody to help with this or move on, because this is what you call a major roadblock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. What is this? A multifamily?
Yeah, this is like a 4 unit though.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
This
know. It's
out of
been
their
on market for
mind.
like 130 days, and I was like,
This
what is
agent's out of their freaking
up?
mind, dude. Just tell them, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a
Mhm.
motivated buyer, or I'm a qualified buyer. I need to know if we're gonna meet eye to eye on terms before I do anything,
I
because I'm busy. And
I
if
can go
that's
back to the messages. I was saying that back and forth between text messages, and then before I knew it, I just started going on to other properties. Like
yeah,
I was supposed to reply to this a long time ago. I just prioritized other stuff because I was like, they don't really want to sell this if they're doing
no,
all of
they're
this.
roadblock. They're roadblocking you. Just move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop sharing. We don't want to look at this. It's
I,
scary. This
yeah,
is a horrible
this
way
is
to
really
finish a
bumming me
meeting.
out.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when they sent that, I was like, man, that's gonna hold up a lot. But yeah,
This
other
is,
than that though, I have other properties I'm looking at. Things are
yeah.
rolling better. I'm just
Focus
waiting.
focus on other ones. When they start doing this, I don't know. They're it's like a wholesaler force field.
Yeah, for sure. Agents get in the way.
Wholesaler repellent. Spray
Yeah,
them. Bear spray.
sellers get in the
They
way.
see they go and look at you, they're gonna use bear spray. All right.
All right, I'll put
One
my
more. Scott turned on his video, so we're gonna do one more.
Thanks for hanging out, CJ. We'll
That's
see you soon.
it. That's it. Thank you,
Scott, what's up, dude?
CJ.
Okay, looking for feedback. My background, I'm in Southern California. I'm a broker. I have flipped houses before, so I get all the gist. Decided to join a certain program to be a blaster. Picked a market in Florida, and I've been cold calling agents. I probably in Jacksonville is the market that I chose. And I've talked to probably 400 agents so far in the past 4 weeks or so. I'm really good at talking to them because I'm a broker, so I can, get right through. And if they have any pocket listings or whatever, I am swimming uphill so hard. Every agent, there's no inventory, there's nothing.
You're talking to the agents.
Yes.
Plus, you're in a very highly saturated market that's a pond that everyone is fishing in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Florida market, all of it.
I don't disagree with Gary, but I also think it's primarily like, so I don't know if you were on one of our other calls. So basically we had this campaign that we were running for a couple months, and I took a look at the metrics. It was basically like what you're doing. Cold outreach, blind outreach is essentially what it is. Hey, do you have anything? Right? Like that's literally what it is. And so what we found was, and by the way, the initial message that went out was very personalized. So our response rate, was probably as good as it's going to get. 3% of the agents that we reached out to raised their hand and said, yeah, I'll get on the phone with you. And 1% of them brought us opportunities from that campaign, right? So we paused it because what I realized is about 10% of those agents that I spoke to probably understand what we're doing and or will give us opportunities in the future. And I looked at the average talk time, and what I realized was I spent about 36 minutes of well-used time of my time in 2 months when I could have spent that in one day. So not a lot of people want to take the approach of looking at fixers, and or there's a way to see what's sold off market, by the way, in the MLS. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not an agent, but
Scott's a broker. He should know how to do that.
Yeah, you probably do. Right.
Yeah.
So those calls that we're making now are way more fruitful because they have the right mindset. They understand working with investors, right? Some of them know, and their mindset is, oh no, most of the properties in this area trade off market. Like, we've met agents that actually say that. They have a completely different mindset than retail agents.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that you want to be connecting with, right? And once you perform with one, it's like game over. Like, we've got VIP agents who keep just bringing us stuff. We got agents who are asking us, what doors do you want me to knock on? Those are the types of agents you want to get a hold of, right?
Right. So did you text those people only, or did you cold call?
Those are cold calling them.
Okay.
We want to connect. We want
Right.
to get a hold of them. We call like 3 times. We'll call, text, and then we'll call 2 more times.
Right.
But we're hitting them up like, hey, we're trying to get on the phone with you. And, most of them are receptive to it. We just let them know, look, I know that a lot of people are hitting you up for this, but we're a serious buyer. This is what we're looking for. We have all these scripts. Like, we just got done with a project. We want to roll our money into it, so on and so forth, those types of conversations. And so, yeah.
But no, I know, because sometimes in Jacksonville, I could be like the 3rd call they've had that day. And I know Tampa's worse because I think with the Blaster, they've got 90 people in Tampa. And if you figure if each person's sending out 100 texts or 100 calls, there's only 5,200 agents there. I mean, it is saturated. But now, are you sending those texts in California? Because I know you're California based.
Dude, I'm in LA, bro. And that's, if you want to talk about saturated, I just closed a 30K assignment today, dude. Like, when people say saturated, I'm like, so what? Like, be better, be different. Guess what? That program that you're using, 50 people have it right now in the same area, and they're like, you're just one of the same. Call them and be like, hey, I just closed on this property down the street. Say something completely different. Be different, be better. And that's what people are missing, is that, like, Chat GPT and automation and all this stuff is the hot buzzword. And I look at that and I laugh, because this is a relationship business. A lot of industries are. And, you might have to have some boots on the ground, somebody shake your hand and have a conversation, know something about these people. Like, in our profiles, I tell my team members, if they talk about personal stuff, you better put notes in their profile. So the next time that you talk to them, you're like, how's your kid? Did they get the scholarship to USC? We're building relationships. It's not about Chat GPT and all this stupid automation that everybody else is using. It helps scale.
Look, Scott, I'm an agent too, right? And I'm getting the automated email, the text and stuff. And I am nice to them, because it's agent. Sometimes it's agent to agent, but I'll just say to them, take me off your automated system, or I'm blocking you. And if I hear from them again, they're blocked, and that's it. That goes right to my trash folder if it's email, or I block them on text, and I don't know where those go. They go somewhere, but yeah, I don't want to be bothered with that. If someone picks up the call, if they're not hounding me every once in a while, checking in, and not just talking, do you got anything? Do you got anything? Do you got anything? Then I'll have a conversation with them. So I think what Patrick's advising here is really smart. You pause the texting to in favor of the human outreach, right?
Yep.
Well, what I do is I'll text, since they're 3 hours ahead of me, because I'm in Orange County, Southern California. And so I'll start my text at 6 o'clock in the morning, our time. So by the time I get some responses, I follow up with those people. Instead of a text back, I call, and then I get on the power dialer and then, cold call the rest of the day. Yeah. But, and like I said, I can talk to these people. I mean, that's easy, but, and maybe Jacksonville is just.
Why are you focused on Florida and not California, where your expertise lies?
I chose to get out of here only because I figured, well, I'll try something different. And I didn't realize how saturated
what I'm saying to you, how long have you been you're a broker, so you've been in the business for a while.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I've been around for a long time, and I flipped for a long time around here. So, I mean, I guess, and maybe I know too much, and maybe that's,
come on, you're like, you've already got established connections here. You've got contractors, you've got other real estate contacts. Why are you building a different mousetrap when you've invested all these years in this market area? and your license is good throughout the state,
Right.
one of the things that I did was I set out to do real estate differently, not fall into, and Patrick will tell you that I've done as many deals in Northern California, in Sacramento and Stockton and Modesto and places like that as I have in Southern California, and everywhere in between. I've done, I think I'm on my 4th deal in Bakersfield. I never set foot in these properties I've never been to Stockton. I've never been to Sacramento. I've driven through. The last time I was in Bakersfield, I was doing consulting work for Conoco, not Conoco, whatchamacallit, which oil company's big there? It doesn't matter. Right. I do most of my deals virtually. So, I set out to do things differently.
And I will say this again. I already said it, but I've heard you say it after I said it. And you're like, I didn't realize it's so saturated. Dude, like I said, I'm in LA. You don't think LA is saturated, bro?
I know it is.
Worst. It is the worst. But I love that. I love that there's liquidity, baby. Because liquidity equals what? Cash.
Deals. Look, all I'm saying, Scott, is this market. You're from here. You've got your connections. It doesn't make sense to me that, okay, I can see where, I'm a little tired of it, but slap yourself once, slap yourself the other, and
drink a Red Bull.
Snap out of it, man. You got success all over the place, a track record of it, and you're not riding that track. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, dude, and squad up, Scott. You're smart, you're experienced. You should have some people underneath you making calls that don't know what you know. You just need that more volume going too.
And I've been working. Actually, last night I went to a Sub 2 group here in Orange County, and which it was interesting. I liked it.
A meetup.
Yeah, it was SoCal JV or something. I don't know. But and then there's one coming up tomorrow night I'm going to go to up in LA.
That's where Mitch and Richard from our group. Yeah.
And it's great. It's great for finding buyers. Yeah.
Richard Knowles and those are all Sub 2 people running those meetups. So that's a good way to connect. Hey, we are way over time.
Way over. We got to go.
Way over. It's long. And
it's Irish goodbye time.
I've got text messages circling LAX right now, waiting to come in for a landing. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Monday, same time, same bat channel. Actually, it's a different link. It's the Robin channel. Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.